Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you interview us on this platform. We appreciate it. So, I am Fatwa Adishino Michael, and beside me is my wonderful wife. She is Christiana Temitope Oluwa Olabisi. We can add Fatwa to that too. So, in short, Mrs. Fatwa Mr. Fatwa. I think we still like to retain our first names though. Now. So you can just simply call us additional Temitope. Well, so I did that with meet my wonderful wife. We attended the same secondary school. I was a class ahead of her. Her dad was my physics teacher. Luckily, I was one of the good boys in class. Maybe it would have short my chances. So that was our physics teacher. He taught us from SS1 to SS3. Yes, and we became a bit close because my parents saw my need for extra classes, and so he had to come to school, and he was looking for somebody who could teach physics, mathematics, chemistry. So we got the mathematics teacher, we got the chemistry person too. So for physics, we had to introduce him to her dad, my dad to her dad, and they got talking. And because of that, my younger ones too, my younger brother happened to be in the same set as her. I'm not sure if they were in the same class. So before we know what was happening, we became family friends. And they all saw me as, okay, because I was in class ahead, so I'm my brother.
Big brother.
Yeah, they see me as big brother. It's the necessary senior boy. They were relating with my younger ones, and they had a very strong bond in my younger brother, herself, and like 3 other people. I know that I always see them together. They were very close. But at that time, I didn't see any vision yet. The only thing that I remember that there was some attraction, but that time what was in my head was admission. I just wanted to go to school, so the attraction, I didn't feed on it. I didn't allow it grow. So it was just there. Our marriage was not even in the picture. Yeah, so we went after secondary school. I graduated. We went our various ways. By the grace of God, I got admission. Almost immediately I finished. So I went to school, and one of the days when I was in school, I think I was in 300 level. She called me on my birthday to appreciate, to just wish me happy birthday, and I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, and I really appreciated it. But at that time in school too, it was GP that was on our mind. So, so she made it a kind of routine. On my birthdays, she will always call, and I always make sure that I return the call too. I remember the following year when she did it for the first time. The following year, I marked down her birthday. My birthday comes first, so she called. I marked her birthday. Okay, because she called, later I will call her back. Yes, and then once in a while we talk on WhatsApp. Once in a while, nothing else between us. But by the time throughout my stay in university in Futa, I'm sure that it's the same thing with many Futa guys. I wasn't in any relationship. I didn't commit myself to any relationship. I didn't look for any girlfriend. There's a nice ladies, beautiful, wonderful ladies came around, but I had a way of running away. Because I was not just ready, or maybe I didn't have the mind to enter into one. But that was not what was in my mind till I graduated. Yes. And because of that, I believe I didn't. That was why I didn't go into anything serious. I just took her as my friend. Okay. So when I finished my national youth service in 2012, that was the first time I decided that okay, uh, let me even think of going to a relationship, and it was with another person, not even her, another person. And to cut the short story long, that relationship took about maybe up to 7 years, but it didn't work out. So we ended it on a neutral ground. So it was at that point that I started praying that okay, God, um, I got into that first relationship. I didn't even bring you along. I just felt that I don't finish NYC now. So all my friends they get girlfriend. Myself, I need one. And so I'm sorry. But now I want you to be in charge. And if you don't lead me to someone, I'm not going to take a step.
We've known each other since secondary school. And in fact, I've known him since primary school. We went to the same primary school.
Yes, that's true.
And because his family happened to be, they have this kind of likeness for Deeper Life and Deeper Life program. So while we were growing up, I remember seeing them in the retreat once in a while. And because I happen to have the kind of sharp memory, I remember people's faces a lot. So I remember seeing him very well during some of the camps. Then in primary school too, I remember seeing them because they were kind of loud. And he was always taller than everybody else. He was always the tallest and the slimmest. So he has this conspicuous stature that you just have to notice him. So
I'm not tall though, I'm just 2 meters.
Indeed. So then secondary school came. We also got the relationship got closer a bit because his younger brother was my friend. In fact, we actually belonged to the same clique. So, and then we had to write some O-level exams. I remember we wrote GCE together. And then it was, because it was our senior, it was always standing aloof. Like, one of my friends was like, that's he just like standing because he's our senior. It doesn't. So that was how it was. Fun. Coming back to the present now, I remember in 2019, yes, there was a relationship, of course, during undergraduate days, but it didn't go far. Then I've had some close. Not you, of course. I've had some close, almost relationships too that also did not work out. So I just, at the point I made up my mind that okay, I think I'm going to just focus on myself, focus on being a better version of myself, focus on my career, and also I remember finishing first degree. My dad called me to say, okay, what next? What do you want to do? Do you want to go for your master's or marriage? I just told my dad, no, marriage is not in my dictionary. I want to go for my master's. So that's why I continued the master's. And I remember in 2019 was the year I actually knew that I think I was ready to be married. Like before 2019, yes, I was attracted to men. I actually wanted marriage, but I was not so like into. Then I knew that if I ever went into a relationship at that time, I don't think I would have married immediately because I knew that I was not ready. So, but 2019, the year I clocked 30, that was when I knew that okay, I think I'm ready to settle down now. And so I started praying more seriously about it.
I ended that relationship. We ended on a neutral ground, and that's one thing I want to also advise people. One of the mistakes people make is putting the cart before the horse in relationships. They want to enjoy the intimacy, and then the discussions, they won't have discussions as they ought to. They want to enjoy the intimacy first, and that is always where the problem is. Yes, we liked each other, we were close, but we put a what should I put?
Boundary.
A boundary on intimacy. So there was no sex, there was not too much closeness, hugging, kissing. We never got ourselves involved in that. So when we were living, we still had mutual respect for each other. We just knew that we were living because of the future. Yes, so it was a bit easy to live there. So when I was praying that prayer to God, I was telling God, yeah. So that was July, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So that was July. Fast forward to July 2019. Okay. Yes. So I have to jump a lot of details to arrive at that. That was July 2019. So October 2019, I had the reason to meet my parents in my uncle's house in Nebi. And my daddy just asked me that, that girl that you're together with, I know you told me that it's over, but me, I think that girl is a good girl. Like, she likes the family. I say, well, do you know now? I gave you the details. Okay, well, we are not the ones marrying her. So, is there any other person in the picture? Any other person in the picture? Are you seeing anybody? I said, well, there are 3 ladies that I'm seeing in my head. I've not approached them, but I think I like them, and I plan to approach them. And my dad was, "You are planning to approach them. So when I go to take the news, you are not a kid. You have a job, you have a place you are staying. What's stopping you?" So, and now now ask the question that, when do you intend talking? Have you even spoken with them? Okay, give me the names of these 3 people. And if you have the picture, I won't mind seeing it. So I mentioned the first sister A. I don't want to mention her name now because she might see this video. And she doesn't know that this happened because I've not approached her. Yes, I mentioned sister A. I tried to look for her picture on my phone. I checked their WhatsApp profile, her picture was not there. So I couldn't show my dad the picture. And sister A attends the same church that I attend. In fact, we were even in the same unit. So I mentioned sister B. Daddy said, "Oh, I like they have Christian names, very good." It shows that I said yes. Mother Daniel. So let's see Sister B's picture. Sister B's picture, for some reasons, was not on my phone. So I mentioned her. I actually mentioned her name last. That okay, and it was only a picture, a WhatsApp profile picture that was on my phone, and that just looked at the picture. So okay, so this is the Olabisi. I said yes. Well, you know the Olabisi now, my physics teacher. I said, oh, I remember him, the pastor. I said yes. If I like yes. Wow, our daughter is looking so nice. So I know that he was doing advertisement. And she's looking so the watch he used was cheerful. She's looking so cheerful. Yeah, I said yes. That so we just started talking. I told her that we don't talk often, and I've not mentioned anything to her. That's why I told my dad. I've not mentioned anything to her. My dad now said, well, I know how to pray now, so. But you have to make a move. You can't just have these people in your head. You have to approach them. I said that I don't think that's the right way to go about it. You can't just jump and what if I approach her now? She says, "Oh, sorry, I wanted to actually give you my wedding invitation." I will feel so bad that that okay, that he should just give me time. But he insisted, and I'm happy he did. He said, "Well, I'm ordering you to start approaching." So start with the little pay. And I said, well, I'm not comfortable. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. As a matter of fact, in our church, they said if you see somebody, we have to go to the marriage committee, and she attends to another church, so I will just take my time. So, and I said, okay. She called me on my birthday, and her birthday is coming in so number of days. I think maybe 1 week. I can't remember.
A week and some days.
Yes, a week and some days. So that I will just call her on her birthday, and I will try to befriend him. Yes, that was the word. I will just try to friend it, and my dad said, okay, that's good enough. Just try. So I stored that information in my head that okay, October 29, I have to call my wife now. At that time, I had to call a prospective. Yeah, so
in May, was it May? Yeah, it was either May or April. There's this particular dream. I've been having as of 2019 for 4 years. I started having that dream in 2015. And the first time I had the dream, I was like, maybe it's just a figment of my imagination that no, this cannot be real. So I just brushed it off. And what was the dream? The dream was that I saw our two families, they were having a meeting, planning our wedding, me and him. I was like, no. I just brushed it off. More so, I was in the heat of the master's program, and so there were many distractions, of course, and there was one brother like that in my class that was distracting me too. So, and I think the first lesson I want to bring out of this is, if you are looking out, as a single person, you are looking out for God, you are asking God for a life partner, and there's someone in the shadows, you have someone, you are not in a relationship with the person, but the person is giving you attention that is supposed to be meant for a significant other. But in your mind, because you guys have not asked each other, you've not made it official, you are telling each other that you're not in a relationship. I tell you, if you are praying to God to give you a life partner, God, even if God is giving you the answer, if the answer is right in front of you, because there's someone else in the shadows, you might not really know that is the answer that God is. I think in my own case, that happened. So that first dream, I brushed it off. The second year, 2016, I had the same dream. The same dream, the same version.
The same month.
Not the same month. I can't even remember it was the same month. I think 2017, the same dream. 2018, 2019, it took a different turn.
God, thank you.
In these 4 years, there were some of these years, but I can't remember precisely. But there was one of these years that the dream came twice. Yes. So now 2019 was when I now got serious about praying about the will of God for marriage and all. And so the last time I had that dream, now this last time took a different turn. So, and when I woke up, because I've been praying about, and one of those things I used to tell God while I was praying was, God, I don't like beating around the bush. I don't like this practice of, let me go and pray about it, I'll think about it. I used to tell God then that I want a situation where immediately it comes, I will know that it's the one. I don't have to be going back to go and praying for 3 months because I don't like story. Like a job, too much talk. I don't have time. So, and as at that time, I made up my mind. I don't want to get unduly close to the opposite sex. Yes, yeah. If you've been my friend before, we can still be friends. But if I don't know you from Adam, and I just noticed you are trying to get close, you said get my number from somebody. And when I ask you direct questions, that okay, why did you collect my number? What do you want from me? And you don't have any cogent reason. I'll just either I try to just put you on how would I put it? Give a distance or.
What if the brother is trying to put himself together?
So that one is that. I said I don't like. If you cannot be bold enough to tell me that, okay, I like you, talk your own. Then what? You are wasting my time. When there are some other people that you will just block off. If somebody was in the picture, so anyway, so that afternoon, it was an afternoon that I had the last dream. I woke up, and I usually have notes and beside my pillow. So immediately I woke up, I wrote down the dream and date, and that thing just told me that this one that you are praying, that you've been praying that God should show you the will of God. Are you sure that this dream that you have been having, you had it 2019? Are you sure that it's not the answer you have been looking for? So So that was it. I now started like, okay, instead of now praying vague prayers now, I started like focusing my attention on that particular area. And I remember when I started praying initially, because I was not sure, I was just like, hey, Tope, are you sure you saw the right thing? So when I started praying, I was not bold enough to mention his name initially. So but I was just telling God, if he's the one, please just cement it, like let your will be done. If he's not the one, please remove this feeling. Because as at that time, I will not lie to you. He's a fine guy. I know. So, and let me not lie to you, when it comes to the physical attributes, he's my spec. Except that he's a bit fairer than me. Though my Nigerian son has made him dark. So someone is tall and he's handsome and all. So so, and I remember, because of the interaction from secondary school, so it was like there was a seed that was already planted. So God was kind of watching the seed, because I remember in 2017, okay, when I started having the dreams, even though I was brushing it off, it was like the more I had the dream, the more the feeling was growing, but I was not admitting it. In fact, I didn't admit it to myself, not talk about admitting it to anybody. So in 2017, on his birthday, that was how I just saw one nice, well-written birthday wish from a female on Facebook. Oh God. When I said I was kind of disappointed. Even I didn't admit it to myself until 2019. I did not admit it to myself that I was disappointed. I was like, hey. So it means that this person in a relationship. So why am I just dreaming about him? Even if he's not in a relationship with this lady, maybe they're already, talking and close to being in a relationship. So I just forget about this guy. I was telling myself, even though I didn't admit it to myself. So in 2019, at a point, when I started praying about him, I was scared that I hope I won't make a fool of myself one day. So at the point, I blocked him on WhatsApp. So let me just block him so that I will not be tempted to jump. Because to me, yes, people tell the story of Ruth and Boaz, that the female can ask the man, but I think in my own dictionary, I feel that the man should chase the lady, not the other way around. So, and each time I think of the possibility of, okay, maybe I've seen cases where the lady talks first. I usually don't get this release to approach him first. So I just knew that it was not my thing. I just had to wait. So I started praying. Later, I started being more focused in my prayer. I told God that, God, you need to change circumstances and situation, turn it around. If you have to scatter anything, to just make him talk. I told God that, God, plant my love in his heart like a burning fire in his bones. That if he does not talk, you will not rest.
That's a spiritual setup.
Yes. I went to the MFM way, by the way. So, and then I remember telling God that I asked for some specific signs. It was in Lagos, I was in Abeokuta. I said, God, this guy, okay, I know he's a quantity surveyor. If it's to take a project to bring him down to Abeokuta, if he's the one, just do it. Then I think I also, what else? There were many things I told God. So I didn't know that all the while I was praying, God was actually using people. That pressure that his dad was putting on him was part of my prayers. I know it was my prayers that was working.
Maybe that's right. The funny thing. One of the sister A on that phone, sister A sent in a wedding invitation a week after I met my dad. So not the week in my bed. If I am there, I would have. Then the sister B sent in our own wedding invitation a week before my wedding. So that means both of them were actually in serious relationship. So thank God their picture did not show on my WhatsApp. Because if I met sister A, I say, actually, I won't marry. I won't meet any other person again. I'm just saying, God be thanks.
So that's how I started praying, and I remember going home for the holidays in August 2019, and my dad is a very wonderful man. All the years, he tried not to pressure us because he knew the importance of getting married to your right partner. So he was not really the type of person that would be asking, how far now, what's happening, married? No, he always encourage and listen to your side of the story, the reason why you are still single and all, and try to encourage. So, but when you're entering 30, that dreaded 30, for ladies. So yes, it's dreaded. So my dad called me. I was like, what's happening? How far? That thing said, tell them. Me, I was determined that no, I will pray this through on my own. But that was just pushing. You better talk. So I just told them that okay, I think I know who it is, but I'm not sure yet. So like, who is it? I said, well, we know their family, but don't ask me for his name. So later that day, my dad, my sister, and my brother, they start pressuring me that okay, talk now. I said, okay, I'm only going to tell you the person's name if you can guess right. So my sister guessed the first person, she was wrong. The second person was him. My brother also, in fact, my brother did not even guess wrong. He just mentioned his name. I was shocked because my younger brother didn't go to the same secondary school with us. So the level of interaction he had with Shino was a little limited. So I was like, what would have caused you to think about the fact that it could be Shino? He said, it's just that it has once crossed his mind. I was like, wow. So I've the Holy Spirit of people indeed. So, and then my dad also guessed right. So that was the first thing from like, okay, this is one of the confirmation of family. The fact that family has taken over. Then the second confirmation for me was that every time because I like painting scenarios in my head a lot. So every time I think of the possibility, I used to have this sense of peace. Like I couldn't just place my hand, but because before he came along, there were many people that came. In fact, there were people that met my spec physically and career-wise, everything. So, but in his own case, for the other people, there was always something missing. Like I always had this feeling that there was something missing. But in his own case, he has not even said anything. But I had this sense of peace. I had this sense of completeness. Like there was like a jigsaw puzzle that had found the last piece. That's how I felt. So even though he has not said anything, and I had this deal breaker. I know my genotype. My genotype is AS. So and I knew that I used to tell myself, no matter the kind of love that can happen, if the person is AS, that's the end.
Yes,
and one thing I did, the way God helped me, God so helped me that I knew about my genotype quite early. So there were times when people would come, maybe once I said that I'm kind of having feeling for the person, I will just ask that singular question. In fact, I don't even disturb myself to pray because that thing just pushing me. Better ask this before you disturb yourself. Ask him, what's the genotype? Once you tell me that yes, forget it. One person was even asking me, I don't have faith. I said, I have faith, but my faith does not get to that level because medical science, the knowledge that medical science has, is God that gave it to them. So why would I want to be tempting God? That's my own understanding. I don't know if any other person's understanding. So when his own case came and I told my dad, sometimes my dad would be like, how far should the pastor? I said, no, Daddy, that's not my place. He is the one to chase me and not the other way around. So keep praying. So another time he will be like, hey, how will you Mokoko is in relationship? I said, Daddy, to buy me. Am I worried? Sure, you don't have faith in me. Keep praying. So another time will be like, hey, do I remember the genotype aspect? What if is AS? I said, Daddy, don't worry. So then there was not this. I know that my birthday was approaching. My 30th birthday was 29th of October. I just told her that God, I don't need any other birthday present. But for this guy to just call me, that is my birthday present. In fact, in church, during that period, the youth ESCOs had a fasting and prayer weekend. So I just told one of them that was in my unit, I told her that, see, I have a prayer request. I didn't tell her what it was. I just said that God should give me a special birthday present for my birthday. So it was after the manifestation that I now told her what it was. So, unfortunately,
on that day I called her, and then she was sounding a bit cold when I called. I was surprised. That kí ló ṣe àwọn deeper life sister yìí gan-an. O mọ̀ kan tí mo go through kí tó decide láti pè é, mo tún pè é tán, mo tún sound cold pé abeg. Well, I've told her. So, but I just consoled myself, but she now did something that made my day that day. She sent a text message to appreciate the call. That I really appreciate the call, and that gave me some confidence that okay. In fact, thank God for that text message. That was what actually gave me that confidence to press further. And it's also another lesson. Ladies can also communicate. They can return the communication. Don't allow the guy to stress himself too much, because some of us, we are very proactive when we are among guys, but when we are in front of when to talk to somebody that we have feeling for, we'll be doing like this. If you like have muscles, big muscles, you will. The person that you love is as if there is one spirit that is just saying, "Muscle, no, have yourself." Yes. So thank God she sent that message. Yeah. She will give her side of the story, and you understand why to me it was as if she was sounding cold, and why that call was very important. The one I made, she will tell it in her own side of the story. Yes. So having been encouraged by that message, we got talking, and because I'm a very busy person due to the nature of my job, I always call her at night, and sometimes we will talk, not WhatsApp call, normal call. I was spending 1,000 will finish. I will load the other 1,000, and we will talk sometimes 12. Until one day she said, "Let's use WhatsApp call now." Is it you? And we are talking close. Me, I'll be intentionally telling her about myself, about that, and I'll be asking her questions because I want to know. One day she just said, before now we've not been talking like this. Within some weeks we are talking every night. What do you want? I said, "Hey, Roberto." Yes, and I think that's another lesson too. Okay, you will handle that. Yes, you handle that. She said, "What if they find? Why are you calling me like this?"
God answered the prayer and he called me on my birthday. I was so excited that day, but there's something about me. I know how to hide my feelings very well. So he did not know that I was excited because I was sounding, formal on the phone. "Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it." But, after the call, something just said, "You better send this guy a message so that I will know that you appreciate this call." So I just sent him a message. And I remember something too. I remember when I was praying, I was raised in deeper life. Most people know. But for some years, for about 3 years now, I've not been going to deeper life. So, and he doesn't know because we all grew up in the same place and we've been away from each other for years. So, and last time I saw him was in 2015. So I'm sure he would be assuming that I was still in deeper life. So I was scared that, hey, I hope this guy will not be, because I knew he doesn't go to deeper life. So I was like, I hope this guy will not be thinking that all these is life girls and he'll be scared of approaching me. So I told God, I said, "God, see, I don't want this guy to approach any pastor. I don't want him to approach any marriage committee. I want him to come directly to me." And that's how it happened. He came directly to me. He didn't go through any pastor or anything. Because I used to tell my mom.
I went through God.
Of course, God has already opened the way for you. You're the one that did not see it on time. So I used to tell my mom that, see, don't expect any stranger to come and meet you and say he wants to marry. Anybody that comes must have come to me first before they came to you. So and thank God it happened like that. So when he called me on my birthday, I was happy. And then I now remember, I think some days before my birthday, there was one, I got a review from work that was not so palatable. So I felt down and discouraged. And that day, it now happened to be a day, he just chatted me up randomly, like he always does. So he was asking about me, that, how am I feeling? So that thing just said that you better talk to this guy. Like, ask him, just tell him how you're feeling. Don't just say you're fine. So I just told him that, okay, this is what happened as well. So he wrote one long inspirational message to encourage me.
It is called mentorship.
She know that our interaction was just Happy New Year, Happy New Month. How are you? How is daddy? How is mommy? My regards to them. Finish. Sometimes when I even reply, he will not answer until like 3 days or 2 weeks. So, he's not the person that is not encouraging me with long message. And at the end of the message, I wrote, if you need more discussion, I'm open for discussion. Like, am I reading right? So, but I was happy, I was happy. And then the next thing I noticed was there was a time I couldn't charge my phone. The phone was off, there was no light. I took it to work today, there was no light at work, so I couldn't charge. So I was offline for not up to 24 hours, by the way, but almost 24 hours. And then when I came online, the first message I saw from Shino, looks like I've been offline for a while. I was like, Shino. So that means this guy has been checking my last thing. Someone that doesn't reply my message on time, that knows that I have not been offline for almost 24 hours.
The Holy Spirit was working.
So I knew that I was kind of encouraged that, okay, my prayer is working. Then at some point I was getting discouraged that it's like this thing is taking time. But the way God did it was so wonderful. Every time I felt discouraged, like, it's like this thing is taking time. Am I even sure of what I'm seeing? Somebody would just come randomly and just someone that didn't even know what was going on with me would just say, would just come and tell me about patience, waiting, Someone, in fact, there was a day I was so discouraged, and the man just walked up to me, and because he knew that I was single and he knew I was 30, and you know how Nigerians are. About 30, 30 local. Anybody told them advice, but I thank God for this man. So he came and was like, okay, I should not worry that he reminded me of Abraham's promise. God's promise to Abraham about Isaac, and how it took about 25 years before Isaac now came, that I should not worry that God will do it. So that was one day. Another time when I was feeling discouraged too, I was just playing a random music on the laptop, and it was, of course, that song has always been on that laptop, but I didn't really pay attention to it. So that day, I was feeling bored. I just clicked on it, and it was Seasons by Hillsong, and where it was talking about harvest, how seasons, the winter, anybody that knows that song will understand. Talking about the length of harvest and how when you grow something, it takes a while before you can harvest it. So, when I listened, it was like, wow, like God was speaking directly to me. And then another day, another discouragement, and I was washing plates in the kitchen, and a random Bible verse just struck in my mind. That was Habakkuk 2 verse 3, and where it said that it may tarry, but
wait for it.
Yes. So in fact, that was what cemented it. And so after that time, I started actually seeing the manifestation. That was when he called on my birthday, and then the Abeokuta issue. We're just talking about going for hiking in one place, and I was like, that you like to go. I was like, no, the year is almost ended. I was like, no, 39 is remaining some days. So that was how we started planning for the hiking. I just remember that, I think I prayed this prayer that God should bring him to Abeokuta. In fact, because after praying that prayer, I forgot about it until when we were close to going for that hiking. I don't remember that. I actually prayed that God should bring him down to Abeokuta, and it happened. So that was how we started talking more frequently. And so one day I just told him, what are you calling me? Like, I don't want somebody to be using to be doing to be playing that I'm not interested in that at this stage of my life. If you know that you don't want to be serious, don't be calling me late in the night and be just talking. So, and he didn't want to talk. He was coming, brother. But I told him, this night you must talk. Like, you must tell me that thing that you're looking for.
Right. every night I will say, okay, tonight just use style to push your intention. But during the call, I won't be able to do it. Then I'll say, okay, next night, I'm just going like that. So when she asked, I was a bit caught unawares. But one confidence just came out of me. And number one, I didn't tell her that I want to ask you out. I didn't tell her that, oh, I want us to be closer. I just went straight. I said, well, I'm calling you like this because I believe that you might be my wife. I told her straight. I didn't talk girlfriend. I just told her straight. And yes. Was that the word I used? I think yeah. I can't remember the exact word, but I remember I mentioned marriage straight. And she paused. And she now said, well, I believe the same thing too. In my head, I was like, yes! But you know what? Let's pray about it. So she said we should pray about it. I didn't know that, okay, she will tell her own side of the story. Because me, I now took the prayer seriously that God, I don't commit myself. Now you have to make it,
Okay, so that was how he just told me his intentions that night. And I said, okay, but I think God has told me something about you too, but let's go and pray more to know Jesus. So that was
all I needed to hear.
So this time last year, on 25th of December 2019, was the first time I'll be seeing him after 5 years. And today we're husband and wife.
Yeah, just a year.
Yeah, so a year ago we were just starting out as a couple. No, a couple now. We were not married. Courtship. No, we were not married, but we are still a couple.
Yes, courtship.
So this time,
that's when we went physically after 5 years.
Yes. I know that there are single ladies that will be listening. A lot of people misunderstood me in the process of waiting. Many people thought it was some people told me to my face that my standard was too much, even though they didn't know what my standard was. They never waited to ask me what my standard was. They just assumed that I was like every other lady that was looking for a man that had money, that had everything. That was not my aim. No, because I tell you, this will of God thing used to be very it used to be a vague and theoretical concept to me. Because I've heard testimonies of it, but because it wasn't personal, so I didn't really see it as something.
You did the right thing, you prayed.
So, but I thank God that now it's so real that if they wake me up to ask about it, I can. My talk is for the ladies. Don't ever try to how will I put it down? Bring down yourself because you want to get a man. No.
Very important.
The moment you see that your value systems don't align, it's not for you.
Okay, wait.
The man is not for you.
Yeah.
Don't try to remove your value system, reduce your value system, compromise your value system because you want him to accept. Because I tell you, as you compromise one, if you have 10 value systems, if you compromise one because you want to accept him, the next time he will ask you to compromise another one. The next time, until you lose yourself in the process. And one thing is, no matter how strange your value systems are, of course, if it's not something ephemeral or materialistic or vain, if it's something that aligns with God's will for you, there is always somebody to complement it.
So, you are not in a marriage competition with anybody. So don't run your own life with another person's alarm clock. I use the word alarm clock because alarm clock is always shouting. Alarm clock will not keep you
on the edge.
Yes, it puts you on the edge. Yes, sometimes the alarm clock will shout and I'll feel like flinging it. So, and why did I say alarm clock? Because people like to put things on Facebook now. Any small thing, Facebook. So when you go to Facebook and you say, hey, you don't know to marry. Hey, somebody will not come and marry my own husband like this. Yes, so
love, according to our generation, is being skewed in many senses, in many aspects. Because we have movies, novels, music that preach love to be the sensual feeling, the butterfly in the stomach, the palpitating heart, the sweat in the palms, and all those things. That is not love. Love is a decision. Yes, all those things are part of it. They're just the addendum. The actual thing, the actual definition of love is the decision. Like you made that decision. Even when the person is being stupid. Now we have a lot of marriages that are ending up in divorce. You are still single. You have the opportunity to make it right from the beginning. There are people, God has placed people now in this. We now have people who are young and must have had some experiences that God placed on your path to help you not to make the mistakes that some people have made or mistakes that people are making. I don't see any reason why you have all these examples around you and you still end up settling for less. If you are single, especially for ladies, if you are in a relationship that is making you have sleepless nights, making you uncomfortable, like it's deep down your spirit that you are not happy in that relationship, please cut it off. No matter the investment you've made, maybe financially or emotionally or whatever, because I tell you, it's easier to break up a relationship than breaking up a marriage. Even if you are able to break up the marriage, there will be some collateral damage that would have happened along the line that will set you back. So why not just take the bold step now and just cut it off?